I got an email recently from a reader of my Ask the Expert column who wondered whether his mother owned too many mutual funds. She had 29 different funds. Now, I'm all for hedging risk by spreading your money around, but more than 24 funds strikes me as overkill to the extreme, not to mention potentially more harmful than helpful to one's personal finances. Which raises an important question. When you're investing for long-term goals like retirement, a child's future, college expenses, or just overall financial security, how many mutual funds are enough, and how many are too many? There's no single correct number, of course, but here are a few tips that can help you put together a portfolio that's right for you. First, cover the basics. You want to be sure your portfolio has a broadly diversified mix of domestic stock and bond funds. In the case of stocks, that means owning funds that hold both large and small shares as well as growth and value stocks, while for bonds, that means both government and investment-grade corporate issues. You can get this diversification in a variety of ways. You could do it with just 2 funds. For example, owning a total stock market index fund would give you the entire U.S. stock market in one portfolio. Combine that with a total bond market index fund, and you've got a totally diversified portfolio with just 2 funds. As for how much to put in stocks versus bond funds, that largely comes down to how long your money will be invested and how much risk you're willing to take. For suggested percentages, you can go to our Fix Your Mix tool, which will help you create a stocks-bonds blend that makes sense for you. Or you can take an even easier route and just buy a target date fund, which gives you a fully diversified portfolio of stocks and bonds in a single fund. Second, decide whether you want to diversify even more broadly. Frankly, I think most people would do just fine with the simple portfolio I just described. But you may be able to boost your long-term returns without taking on much, if any, extra risk by making a total foreign stock market index fund, say 10% to 25% of your overall stock portfolio. Similarly, you could add some inflation protection by adding a bond fund that specializes in TIPS, or Treasury Inflation Protected Securities, or real estate or natural resources. But don't go overboard. The economic concept of diminishing marginal returns definitely applies to investing. So just because you find funds or ETFs that let you invest in every possible industry sector and every corner of the market doesn't mean you should lard your portfolio with them. You can find all the choices you'll need in our Money 70 list of recommended funds. Finally, give your portfolio a reality check. Do you really have a diversified blend of funds that works as a coherent whole? Or is it a jumbled mess with lots of overlap in your fund underlying holdings that makes your portfolio more concentrated than you think? You can see how diversified your overall portfolio really is by plugging your funds into Morningstar's Portfolio X-ray tool, which is available in the Tools and Resources section of the T. Rowe Price site. At the same time, consider whether you're realistically able to manage the number of funds you own. So whether you're just starting to invest or you've been at it a while, take a few minutes to think about how many mutual funds you really need to have a balanced portfolio. For most people, I think the answer is going to be that fewer are usually better than more.